So with 11 players getting cut yesterday, I kind of wanted to look at the grades from our game on Thursday. Because I kind of want to see who did good, who did bad, and who's the next players on the chopping block. Okay? And I was heavily surprised. I said it in my video when I broke down the game tape of Nate Gilliam, but 87.6 pass blocking grade on 25 pass blocking snaps. Keep in mind, this includes starting against starting players, against players that are starters. Yeah, he did pretty good. Now, if you're wondering what the S stands for here, it says for starters, so pretty much he started the game at left guard. And he actually had one of the most amazing pass blocking performances in that game. And again, I have to say, against their starting unit. Jackson Carman also played pretty good in that game. On 7 snaps. Let's kind of keep that in context. But he's gone. Matt Lee had an 82.1. It's my center, baby. That's my center right there. I love him. Jackson Kirkland, 81.6. Devin Cochran, 79. Travion Williams, 77.3. By the way, in case you're ever wondering why Travion is forever on the Bengals and we won't ever get rid of him, that's the number right there why we won't get rid of him. Because this guy can pass block better than most running backs in the NFL. Might not be the best running back, might not be the fastest or, the most elusive, but he can block. And when you got offensive line problems throughout the history of the Bengals, you get a running back like that, you're gonna keep him. Even though we literally had some JP run, he left. But we tried to keep him, so it's beside the point. Cody Ford, 76.6. I still think that he will 100% make the roster in the end here. Cam Grady, Eric All, Trey Hill, and Eric Miller. So, yeah. Starting off right away, sorry, I almost sneezed for a second. Cam Grady's going to get cut. And it's only a matter of time before we get another huge 11 cut day. I think that we'll keep Trey Hill, even though he played horrendous, but we need it for backup offensive line depth. Eric Miller will probably end up being cut here. Out of this list, Devin Cochran probably makes... I'd say Devin Cochran probably gets cut. And I think we're going to keep Jackson Kirkland as backup tackle here. Left tackle, that is. But out of this whole list here, yeah. Nate Gilliam, I think we also cut him. I think it would make more sense to keep Nate Gilliam and cut Trey Hill, but Nate Gilliam has not been doing this every single game. Trey Hill has been kind of consistent and somewhat consistent. It's either between these two guys, Nate Gilliam or Trey Hill, who ends up becoming the backup guard position. Offense, Jermaine Burton had the best offensive performance. And I do want to go ahead and talk about the statement made by the announcers last game, where they said that Jermaine Burton falls asleep in meetings. He did go ahead and address that. He did say he needs to not grow up, but he needs to learn and continue to get better and continue to work on those type of things. So, it's all a learning process. It's definitely not the greatest thing of all time to hear, but hey, listen, he's playing great football. And that's all things he needs to get better at. Jackson Kirkland, Devin Cochran. Going down this list, right? Again, Logan Woodside is going to... Right now, we cut Lockie Lombardi. So Logan Woodside, for right now, I think we're going to keep him until the 27th, which is 3 days from now. But we're going to find out Jake Browning and if he's hurt or not and what his injury status is. And depending on how he's feeling in 3 days, we'll probably end up cutting him or keeping him dependingly. If anything, we'll probably just move him to the practice squad. But yeah, no. Let's actually go back. Not look at that. Let's look at run blocking. So Devin Cochran led the team. That's why, again, I think he'll end up getting cut. But you could make an argument why he shouldn't. Cam Grady, he'll be going. Jackson Kirkland, We'll probably keep him again, like I said, because that's not too much of a difference. And Kirkland's been looking good in other games. Tanner McLaughlin, I think he'll still make the roster. Yeah, there's a lot of guys on this list who are going to get cut. Nate Gilliam. My man, you really aren't helping out the situation here, man. 29.5. Yeah, maybe Trey Hill makes the roster. It's one of those two guys. It really is. I think one will make the roster, one will not. But overall wise, again, even with a bad performance that we had in that game, I think we still played pretty okay. Pretty okay. Again, there's all takeaways here. So Chuck Sizzle, 65.4 return. Cole Burgess, 63.9. We have Kwame at 59.6. And Travion at 58.4. Well, hold up. So that's special teams kick returns. Okay, so this is kick and punt. I swear I thought Jermaine Burton had a kick or punt return. Am I crazy? I thought he had last game a kick or punt return. Maybe I'm crazy. Punting. Let's take a look at this. Ryan was our only punter last week. 59.8. This is still going to be an interesting situation when it comes to who gets the starting punter job. And the reason why it's so interesting is because obviously Brad's hurt. But it's like, I've said this a million times, both guys have what you want in a punter. The problem is they have half of it. Ryan has the great kick power, the great leg, but he has inaccuracy issues. He has a lot of accuracy issues, actually. And you can't really trust him to, utilize that leg in the correct way. But then you got the opposite, which is you got Brad Robbins, who has really good accuracy and can kick the ball wherever you need him to. He's like a laser pinpoint guy. But the problem is that what I just said would be a 27-yard punt. And he can kick the ball 27 yards. And it's like, he has no kick power to him. He has no leg. But he has really great accuracy. And if you could put those two guys together, you would get yourself a good punter. I forget which college it was, but recently there was a punter who just punted the ball 90 yards. He just signed with a college team. He went ahead and punted it 90 yards. And I'm thinking to myself, like, go get him. Like, I don't care what the situation is. Just go get that guy. Go pick him up. Like, he just joined college. But you can pick up a guy in college. So go give him a contract and say, hey, we want you. Like, bruh. Anyway, though. Let's talk about this. Because this is a player we picked up recently. Due to injuries. Carlos Davis. And there's been a lot of talk about him. 100% going to make the roster. There's a lot of great things being talked about him. And again, just a player who played in the UFL last year. Was very successful in the UFL. But never really made it in the NFL. He played for the Steelers for a couple seasons. Ends up going ahead and going to the UFL. And played really great in training camp, in practice, and in preseason games for us. And he's going to make the roster. That's Carlos Davis. Cedric Johnson also had a pretty good performance. Coverage-wise, where's my boy? Oh, he definitely struggled in that game, it looks like. Coverage-wise, he struggled, but I don't think he really played that bad. 32 pass snaps. Oh, snaps where the ball was thrown in the air. 31 coverage snaps, yeah. Jordan Battle, man. Even against the starters for their squad, Jordan Battle just played outside of his dang mind. Overall wise, again, like I said, we're going to get more players cut very soon, but tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. Crazier things happening, man. Crazy things are happening.